Meeting. Good evening, everybody. I call this meeting of the Landmarks Preservation and Parks Committee to order at 6:38 p.m. Before proceeding to roll call, as we normally would, I want to briefly start with doing two things. First, I wanted to recognize and thank our former co-chairs, Veronica and Marquise, for all their hard work over the past few months and for the role that they played in facilitating the smooth transition over to both myself and Christina. I think we both would like to do a brief intro to introduce ourselves one time. Before starting, I'm from Manhattanville, just down the block, where I taught ESOL to the immigrants, as well as GED reading and writing, social studies to formerly incarcerated New Yorkers and other New Yorkers who did not have the opportunity to read their high school education. I went to Columbia University and graduated in 2023. Political science with a degree in political science and focused primarily in American politics, among other majors that I don't want to bore you with. But I also serve as a housing rights advocate, something that I care tremendously about, and it's also why I am part of the Housing and Zoning committee as well. For the better part of the past decade or so, the bulk and butter of what I did was in real estate law. So see that there might be a little bit of overlap between my interests and what I do too. Turning over to wonderful Christina Lopez, yourself.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Christina Maria Lopez. Hi, everyone online. I'm a born and raised resident of this community here in Morningside Heights, 111th Street. I went to elementary school at Corpus Christi on 121st. My background is mainly in visual marketing. I ended up at the community board because I'm a tenant rights activist as well. Care a lot about housing justice in our community. By day, I work for a running nonprofit, and I'm also a co-captain of a local run club. So we're always in our parks. And I also serve on our arts and culture committee, which it's nice for me for this to be paired here. It's fun. If I know there's a lot of art in our parks. So that aspect is very exciting to me as well. And I'm excited to join as co-chair and love brainstorming and feedback. So feel free to reach out to me. I'll add my email in the chat later too.
So I'll join the line together as well. I wish I could claim to be as dedicated to fitness as Christine impressively is. But the primary reason why I really joined Landmarks Preservation of Parks was after starting at Columbia, I have the aspiration to one day be able to have a negotiated settlement with my alma mater, where we come to some sort of agreement to reclaim the Studebaker for a community as a landmark community, as a community landmark, pardon me, as opposed to an administrative building. That ever happens, it's probably a long time away, but it's not one of my many aspirations. All right, folks. Well, without further ado, now on to roll call. Christina Maria Lopez.
Present.
Marquise Bell. Andrew Richter.
Present.
Trisha Caldwell. Deja Delapino. Gregory Regan. Okay, so that we are joined by 3 committee members, which means that a quorum has not been established as of this time. And as such, we are constrained in our ability to do certain things. We will not vote, as you probably may well know, or take certain positions to approve or disapprove of measures. We can nonetheless hear reports, presentations, and may hear public testimony as well. When if a quorum is established, I shall announce that at a subsequent point. Okay, so we've got a packed evening with presentation and parking announcements. For our presentations, we've got 2 exciting presentations are scheduled. First is going to be with respect to capital needs and projects. And that will be delivered by the New York City Regional Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation. And we also expect to hear from, I believe it is Miss Savannah Balin Plain, who will be presenting on Harlem Sculpture Gardens. And she is the executive director and chief curator of the West Harlem Artland. So we are looking forward to both these presentations. And at this point, I think we should jump straight to the presentations, given that we cannot adopt motions. All right. Do you know who wants to go first? Oh, sure. All right, Ms. Wright, if you have the report.
Hi, good evening, everyone. It's Leslie Wright. I'm the New York City Regional Director for New York State Parks. It's my absolute pleasure to be here and talk to you about the mighty Denny Farrell Riverbank State Park. I just want to make sure that you can see the screen that I just started to share with an aerial image of Riverbank. Can you see that?
Yes, now we can. Thank you.
Beautiful. All right. That's your state park in Harlem. Behold. I thought that I'd start by just making sure that everybody knows the thumbnail sketch of what this glorious park is. So bear with me. I'll give you some background about the place, the people that make it tick, and the fabulous extent, the extraordinary extent of programming we offer there, and then get into the capital work that we have ongoing now and planned for the future. So this is our park. And let me okay, here we go. As I think probably most of you know, the park opened in 1993. It was opened as Riverbank State Park, and in several years later, in 2017, thanks to former Governor Andrew Cuomo, the park was renamed after one of Harlem's lions, Denny Farrell, former Assembly member Denny Farrell. It's of the 8 state parks in New York City. It is the park that sees the most visitors every year. It's home away from home for a lot of people. We have a really dedicated community of senior citizens that literally spend pretty much several hours a day, every single day of the week at Riverbank, just cycling through one program and class after another. We have a ton of school groups. The park has its own teams. The facilities are extensive. So let's get a little bit more detail about this beautiful place. It's open 365 days a year. We don't close unless there's, something extraordinary. And that's only happened once that I know of. And that was when there was an explosion in the plant below. So the park was closed for part of a day until it was safe to go back. We open at 6 o'clock every morning and close at 11 p.m. every day. So if you want to go to the park on Thanksgiving or 4th of July or Kwanzaa or Christmas or any other day, it's always open. The park is broken down into different complexes. Our aquatics complex has both an indoor pool, the only indoor pool in the whole state park system, plus outdoor pools. And you can see from this slide the wide range of swimming programs that we have, from recreational swim for different age group to learn to swim to specific water exercise classes. And then the park has its own swim team. This is a swim team that celebrated its 30th anniversary, not this past summer, but the one before. Kids typically join the swim team when they're 7, 8 years old and then cycle all the way through till they're high schoolers. If we're lucky, they also go on to become lifeguards for us, because we always need lifeguards. But you see this last section of the slide, it takes a village to staff each one of these complexes. Riverbank State Park employs more employees than any other park in the entire state park system statewide. Our athletics complex is both indoor and outdoor. We've got the indoor gymnasium um, that can be broken up into 3 different parts. It has bleachers that seat 2,500 people. And then we have the outdoor facility of tennis courts, basketball courts, our handball courts, and the mighty track and field. Lots of programming for all ages, indoors and out. And for all of our complexes, we're always eager to hear from folks what they like, what they'd like to see more of. So please don't be shy of ever giving us recommendations or suggestions, ideas. We're always open to it. Our cultural complex is both the indoor theater, which we renovated about 6 years ago. It seats 800 people inside and is used as a multi-purpose auditorium for meetings, for community gatherings. It's home base for our summer camp. It is used as a classroom, and it's used as performance space for everything from fashion shows to graduations to dance productions to our monthly uh, open mic night. We show movies there. You name it, we do it. It's a wonderfully flexible space. The cultural team also programs the outdoor main stage area during all the warm weather months. And I'm happy to make sure that you all know that we have this gorgeous portable stage out there that, excuse me, you see in the top left image here. It's really a very advanced sort of stage. It folds up into a box during the cold weather season, but when it's open for use in the warm weather, it has lighting, full capability for sound, and then you've got that incredible Hudson River backdrop to see beyond the folks that are performing. Our cultural team does a huge amount of programming indoors and out, and also runs the summer camp every summer. It's a camp for um, roughly 200 kids ages 7 to 13 using the park as its home base. They do field trips. They cycle through all the complexes. It's an incredible bargain. 5 weeks for about $500. Our skating complex is also indoor outdoor. Our rink is outdoor, but it's covered on the top. It's ice in the winter and roller in the warm weather months. We have our own ice hockey teams from little kids all the way up to grown-ups. We have our own figure skating club. We've been home base for the wonderful nonprofit Figure Skating of Harlem for pretty much 30 years. It's just an incredible asset to the park. We've even used the skating rink during the roller season when it's not covered with ice as a factory floor for bike builds or for expos on plants. That's kind of the hallmark of all of our spaces at Riverbank is that each space is flexible and we are open to using each space as the community needs to just do as much as we possibly can. So it's a big, big, big place. It's 28 acres and it's most of it is well, all of it, it's because it's a rooftop, is entirely built. This slide just catalogs all the different kinds of stuff that constitute Riverbank. The number of elevators, the number of stair towers, how many feet of fencing we have, the lighting, the storm drains, all of the mechanical engineered equipment. It is massive. It's its own it's akin to a college or a hospital campus, really, in what it takes and the number of people that it takes to keep it running, to keep it clean, to keep it safe and in good shape. Um, and over the years, the Riverbank's 30-some years of life, the state has invested millions and millions of dollars just with upkeep and renovating and doing capital maintenance on the different facilities. You know, the track and field is one example. Synthetic turf fields last for 10 years. That's just how long they last, and then they need to be replaced. So 2 years ago, we replaced Riverbank's track and field for the 3rd time in its lifespan, and we know that in several years, we'll need to replace it again because thanks to heavy community use, which is why it's there, it just gets worn out. Similarly, other facilities just get used into oblivion. Also, at 30 plus years old, certain aspects of the park have just not only outlived their lifespan, but are no longer energy efficient, for example, or no longer as as advanced as we would like in terms of accessibility. So the park needs work. We embrace that. We know that. And one of the, I guess, the headline good news that I want to share with you tonight is this next slide, which is a big number and a long list of all the basic categories of capital maintenance work we know we need to do at the park. It's over $200 million, and it is park-wide, soup to nuts. The good news is that in this year's, or for next year, the state fiscal year starts April 1 and ends March 31st. So we are just a few weeks away from the end of the current fiscal year for the state. The good news is our governor, Kathy Hochul, has in her proposed budget committed to allocating $20 million to Riverbank to help advance exactly what you see on this slide, selected elements. In addition, State Parks Commissioner has promised an additional 20 million from the agency's own budget, if passed and approved by the legislature, so that in fiscal year 26-27, April 1st, 2026 is the start date, then we can launch $40 million worth of work on select projects, both in terms of design and actual construction. That's a great start. So we're very eager and hopeful and frankly, working as hard as we all can to do everything we can to promote the passing of this budget and the realization of this investment. So we can't do everything all at once because we want to keep the park open. That's our commitment, that as much as is humanly possible and practically feasible, we'll keep whatever part of the park that's being rehabilitated open during its rehabilitation. For those of you who frequent the park, you know that our north stair tower, the main artery between Riverside Park down at the river level and Riverbank, has been under rehabilitation for about the past year. The stair tower and the elevator were actually closed for several months while we completely renovated the elevator itself and completely renovated the stairway, the railings. It is open for use now, but it's not done. Our contractor had some issues with the facade. You see the reddish brown color on the outside of the stair tower. If you can see my cursor going up and down here, that facade, those facade panels are being installed now. The work will be complete later this spring. So the whole thing will be done at long last and will look very much like this rendering. We're also in the middle now of completely rehabilitating our softball field at the very south end of the park. I'm happy to say that the project is on track, and we are planning on having both our own Little League team and outside groups back on the field this spring on schedule. I should back up and say, I said that we're doing our level best to make sure that facilities are usable while they are under renovation. When we had to close the stair tower and elevator, we provided a shuttle service for patrons and staff to get from downstairs to the upstairs in park. That shuttle service is now complete because the stair tower is open again. I will say that for the softball field renovation, we've all the players that typically use our softball field, the park's own teams, we've arranged for them these past several months to use other parts of the park or also a sister park so that their play has not been interrupted. The big thing, one of the big things that the park needs campus-wide is replacement of the facade. Just like on the stair tower where we needed to replace the tiles. The tile work, the exterior cladding, excuse me, on each one of the buildings, it has been compromised over time by water infiltration and leaks. When you visit the park today, you will see that parts of the park have protective netting and protective scaffolding up. That was installed to protect park patrons and park staff from any potential danger of some of the facade separating from the buildings and falling down. So leading up to the replacement of the facade campus-wide has involved comprehensive studies of the facades on each and every one of the buildings. I'm happy to say that the first tranche of the replacement of the facade will start with the skating building. The design for that is underway now, and we're hopeful that with the investment from the governor and from the agency, that work will start on site in 2027. The plan also is for the skating building, for the first time since the park opened, that building will be completely renovated. The facade, a new roof, new HVAC system, and a long list of interior renovations as well. Slated for going out to bid and construction starting later in calendar year 2026 is our South End Playground. Many of you may recall, about a year ago, we did a series of community meetings and solicited feedback on the south end of the park and what folks would like to see. And comprehensive upgrades to the playground are coming. In addition, we will be totally renovating the restroom at the south end of the park. So that work, together with resurfacing the basketball courts and the handball courts at the south end of the park, that'll kick off later in calendar year 2026. There's more to come, and we will just keep cycling through as so long as our budgetary needs are met, and we'll keep everybody posted. We'll keep as much of the park open and in use during these renovations as possible and keep staff fully employed at the park. And if there's time, I'm happy to answer any questions you may have about this, or I could talk about what's going on at the park event-wise. You tell me what you want.
Thank you very much, Ms. Wright. Before I open the floor to questions, I just wanted to announce that a quorum was established 6:59 p.m. when Ms. Caldwell joined. So if you can please note that. I'm sorry. No worries. We may proceed with action items, but so as not to be disruptive to you, I'm going to give you the floor after you do questions, and then we'll make 2 motions of that. Okay. So for the time being, does anybody have any questions for Ms. Wright with respect to any of the subject matter in her very insightful presentation.
You know I will be.
I'd be very impressed if you somehow did have a question.
This is St. Nicholas Park, right? And I
Yeah.
walked in just a little late. Please, I ask your forgiveness, everyone. St. Nicholas Park is, this is just, I just want to know, where are these sculptures going to be placed?
Oh, no, this is
We're on Riverbank.
Oh, this is Riverbank.
Right.
This is our state park in Harlem, Riverbanks, Denny Farrell Riverbank State Park.
No questions, thank you.
Thank you.
That's why I said I would have been impressed if she had known. But the presentation, to remind everybody, was about capital needs and projects for parks. So if there aren't any questions with respect to that portion of the presentation, we'll then move on to the next presentation. And then we'll also be hearing back from Ms. Wright if she has any park announcements after we submit. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wright. All right.
And backup present. We'll explain that later.
Thank you very much. Aiming McLean starting on the right foot.
I asked them if they could upload the PowerPoint. All right, great.
We have.
Perfect. Good evening, everyone. How are you? Happy New Year too.
Very much happy New Year to you.
Yeah. So we are just about ready to do the third rendition of Harlem Sculpture Gardens. Everything is going extraordinarily well. While Christina pulls that up, we will be in the parks of Morningside, St. Nicholas, Jackie Robinson, Montefiore, Broadway malls. We do have a community garden, but it doesn't have to go through this process because it's private property. There we go. All right. So you're starting to see the artists that we have involved. And there's a lot of exciting things that are going to happen this year. I'm very excited about it. First sculpture in Morningside is with Diane Smith with Afro Fluff. And what we are hoping is that part of the sculpture will be 3D printed. Last year, we were able to 3D print the piece by Peter Miller, the Blue Filaments. And so part of this sculpture will be 3D printed, hopefully. And so we're working on that, but you can see the next piece will be between approximately 111th and 112th Street inside the park. The next installation is by Elizabeth Knowles. This is not the, Diane is also Harlem based, just so that you know. Elizabeth Knowles has exhibited with me before as well. She uses a lot of fiber wire in her installations. It's really two pieces, not just one. By the pond in Morningside Park, you can see board 1, board 2, 500 pounds each, and it will be secured with brick and stone at the bottom of the base to make it secure. The next sculpture, exciting, I just say EK. She has a hard time. I have a hard time saying her name. EK Lee. This is a kinetic piece, which means it's going to move. And you can see it's aluminum, stainless steel. We are in negotiations with the base. We will probably end up making it a little bit bigger because the concern is children touching, and we don't want it to fall over. But most likely we will make it a bigger base, partially submerged in the ground with concrete foot. Hello. The next piece, stunning one by Peter Miller. This is Peter's third year presenting with us. What's great about Peter's piece, it's folded aluminum, no nails, no screws, nothing, just hand folded. So he's the lead artist, but there will be a team that will be working with him in creating this piece. We did it last year with the Indigenous woman's face. This one here, I just think is stunning, called Sagittarius, and it will be pinned to the ground, no concrete footing whatsoever. Now, what's exciting about Lizzie McWillie's piece, you may or may not know that land art began in New York City and in the UK. And then after a while, it just started to die off, just didn't see a lot of land art anymore. We have been bringing back land art, which is quite exciting. So here's the first land art piece by Lizzie McWillie. Though she lives in Brooklyn, she's a professor at City College. And she will have a student that will be working with her on this land piece, as you can see. Different elements, and there will be some native plants growing in that particular area as well, in the installation itself. The next piece, also extremely exciting. How extremely? Because last year, we were able to take a mural, well, it really wasn't a mural, it was a painting. And we were able to install it outdoors by having it on pressure treated wood, heavily shellacked, with fencing pipes in the ground, concrete footing, then adding straps to the back of it. And we put it in a private farm. So that gave us a chance to experiment to see if it would work. So we're going to do it again. But here is the really exciting part. Joseph is the director of the mural program for the city of Philadelphia. And he is excited to be doing this project in Harmon. Now, with this mural, it's on, and I can send the video. It is going to be painted on what they have developed as mural cloth. And this mural cloth can withstand the element for as long as 2 years outdoors. So they have really perfected this in Philadelphia. Philadelphia has not only the largest mural program in the country, it's one of the most successful mural programs in the country. So to have Philadelphia connected to us is quite exciting. Now, what Joseph has said is that he will bring the mural cloth, adhere it to what they call alumalite. It's a very thin layer of aluminum. And then he's going to come here and paint it so people could see him paint on the mural cloth. So that helps artists uptown, if they wish, you cannot force people to actually see the entire process, to give people ideas. Because I personally believe that that's the only way you can grow your artistic practice, is by collaborating or observing or asking questions. So this is quite exciting to have Joseph do this here. And that covers Morningside Park. Now we come to St. Nicholas Park. Oh, and to answer your question, Ms. Caldwell, we're using the same locations we've been using the last 2 years, so we're not disruptive to the park. We had a couple of problems last year only because I had a lot of artists who were sick. I had 7 artists who were seriously ill. So things didn't go exactly the way we wanted, but it'll be better this year because we're going to make sure there's more people on hand just in case there are any troubles. Now, Beacons on the Lawn by Chris Sandberg, a professor at the University of Connecticut. These are windmills and they work. And what's exciting, this is a brand new prototype he is developing just for Harlem. So this is really, really exciting, having these windmills on the hill, the sloped hill in St. Nicholas Park, where we had the lighthouse last year on the hill. And so we're very excited because this speaks on so many levels. It kind of deals with a little bit of Dutch history, windmills, it deals with technology, They will be tall so that it will be difficult for anyone to just easily climb. But this is very exciting to have this prototype displayed for the first time in West Harlem. The next piece is another land art piece. This is a couple that is doing it. Ziao is also a professor at City College in the School of Architecture in the landscape program. So he and his wife are developing heat wave. And this is going to degrade over time. So it will not disturb the landscape. It's meant to degrade. This is just grass seeds that they are going to use, and it's over cardboard. Now, this is also exciting. We don't have all the details because we are working all of this out. Harvard University is going to be a part of Harlem Sculpture Gardens and fabricated by City College School of Engineering. We are working out the details. They want to use a little bit more metal than what Professor Fayyad has, but this is exciting because this was a total happy surprise that Harvard would like to be a part of our exhibition, saw what we have been doing, said, would you like for us to participate? And I said, yes, immediately.
As grateful as we are to Harvard, they should be.
Oh, yes, I'm very excited about this. So we're still working out some details. Michael Lachenko is returning, but this time, as opposed to laser cut steel, which he used last year, this is painted plastic on a metal base. So it's lighter and but still as colorful as his piece was, which was post-tango last year. So we also are going to have some photography where it will be transferred to banner material, vinyl. And we're going to use that same technique I mentioned about the fencing pipes to make like a scaffold and to affix it onto it. Phil Bueller also won a NISCA grant. So this is very exciting that we have an artist who's been recognized by NISCA, and it's called No Man is an Island. So he took all these photographs of the little tiny islands that are in our waterways that many people are not aware of or familiar with. So we're going to do his in two parts, St. Nicholas and Jackie Robinson. We have Moses Ross, who I believe is on Zoom with us. And this is his piece, Bridge to Unity, painted aluminum. And it will be close to between 140th, 141st Street in St. Nicholas Park. There's already a concrete base that's already there. It will be affixed onto that base that's already there.
Is that gonna be on a hill?
No, flat. Below Hamilton Grange, near the pathway. We had a piece there last year.
What is it?
Mhm. So now next is Broadway Malls and also Montefiore Park. So we have Michael Post joining us back again. So at the tip part of Montefiore Park, we'll have three pieces by Michael Post, Klang, logos. I think she put it out of the order. She did. Oh no, that's me. Klang. Freeze, and then Portrait of Zeus. And then by 143rd Street, logos, and then Madonna. Just to remind everybody, in the Broadway malls, which I did not know until last year, the malls are on top of what are called vaults. And the vaults are just above the subway. So we want pieces that are heavy enough that can be placed there without having to, pin or, anything down. Michael Post is a professor at Pratt. He's really good. He has his own professional team that comes out and they really do a very good job in a quick amount of time of placing all of it. We also want the other three at the tip of Montefiore, so it does not interfere with the programming the Friends of Montefiore Park engage in with their jazz festivals. The next one is Jackie Robinson Park. I'll just show it. I know Jackie Robinson is in CD10 and I'll be meeting with them next week. But just to give you an idea, we have Natalie Colette Wood. She's very established, including having an exhibition at the Sugar Hill Children's Museum. Her works are noted because she uses moss found objects. She sews fabric in and weaves into her installations. So it has a very natural look. Luke Schumacher with Spout. We were hoping, I see a typo. We were hoping to have his piece last year, but Luke was not well. And so now we are bringing it back. What's interesting, he fabricates for Simone Lee. The sculptor, Simone Lee, you're not familiar. She won at the Venice Biennale the last time. And he uses a crossbow technique for installing his work. Just 6 inches in the ground. It really works. It's phenomenal. Should patent it. So this is a good solid piece, aluminum. And then we have Ted Salmon. He's from New York, but now lives in Connecticut. His colorful piece will be near the band shell in Jackie Robinson Park. And then we will have Phil again with 5 more images from No Man is an Island. The last piece will be by the Z Bell. And you can see it, she'll have it on a base. It'll be sturdy, supported well. But that would be the last piece. So these are all of the sculptures for this year. We are going to have a little bit of a sound installation, but it would be signs with QR codes. And we're hoping it will be in partnership with the Endangered Language Alliance. They're great people who've been trying to preserve languages that are lost or could be lost. And if it works out, we want English text and then text in the Garifuna language. Oh, yes. The Garifuna language is a hybrid language, West African, French, and Spanish, both North South America and the Caribbean. So we're adding culture that people can either relate to or want to learn more about. So those are the things for that. To help people to get more interested in the parks, there goes the presents. These are just nature gifts that you can keep or you can give to a school or anyone else. So we are actually developing nature-based programs for this year. So this Saturday, we're going to have another birding event in Morningside Park. Everything is free. And one of the things I like, we got these cute binoculars for kids. We got a dozen of them in different colors.
Is that what that is in the box?
No.
It's in the box.
Yeah, you get to see. Yeah, pass them around. Different things that people can learn about nature. You can open it up and examine them.
Thank you.
I heard it crack. That's why I was like, oh, don't worry. It's a horseshoe crab. Yes, a lot of people don't know about this. It has a guide to it. If anybody wants to see. Yes.
I actually saw one of these when I went to see, like maybe 2 years ago, I was shocked. I was like, wow.
So the point is to engage more residents to, take a part of nature. So we have the birding this Saturday. March 28th, we're doing stargazing. In Morningside Park with the Amateur Association of America. We'll have several telescopes and people can look at the stars in their own neighborhood. In April, we will have some nature walks. And to make it exciting, I got these journal books. They're so adorable with inspirational writing and pens with inspirational writing. You can pass it around. And the purpose is to get people to want to journal. Journaling is very big. And there's no right, there's no wrong. You just write down your observations.
Mindfulness. Yeah. Sure.
And the whole purpose is to get people engaged, young people, families, so that they can feel, stewardship, not just hear about it, but feel it. So, and we're gonna get little vests so people can wear, so they can feel like they're professionals. The whole point is to make people feel like their opinion truly matters. And then whatever they discover, that's fine. Like I said, no right or wrong answer. That will be led by City College, one of the professors at the School of Landscape. So we have that going on. And I am going to be partnering with Columbia University to do environmental monitoring. This way we can check on the conditions, the soil erosion, the soil compaction, the flooding, and again, share information. We're not trying to dictate anything. It is just to share it, to empower the neighborhood so people can feel that they understand their community better, and then they decide what they wish to do with that information. So that's what we're doing this year. Do you have any questions?
This is excellent.
Thank you.
Really excellent.
Thank you. I
Yes.
wish you very much, Ms. Bailey McLean. I don't know what will get people inspired if that energetic presentation and the goodies.
Did you see this?
Oh, quick question about I came in at the right time, I should have said. Right? And I think I was delivering. I apologize for being late, but as an artist, I love to inspire art in others. This presentation you just gave, laying out all the different exhibits, what is the calendar in terms of when these things will be laid out? Opening day is May 2nd.
May 2nd.
All of them? All of them.
Oh,
Unless there's a problem.
Oh,
Last year
wow.
we had a couple of delays, but May 2nd is our date. We also have partnered with NYC by Design.
Okay.
So that's a good part, because we'll do a tour for them. So therefore they can see the exhibition on May 15th. This is a private event, because I have a limitation on how many people can be invited. We're going to have a meet and greet of the artists, neighborhood people. We're hoping maybe some design publications. And we have an NYU professor who is willing to perform an authentic Ethiopian coffee ceremony.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, yeah, that's really cool.
That is beautiful.
And just when you guys thought that the goodies were going
It was getting boring for a minute, but this is good. Yeah.
Again, bringing in culture,
Right.
history.
Right. That
So
would
there.
relate to, yes.
Feel it in a meaningful way,
Yes.
in a meaningful way.
How long will these sculptures be?
Till October 30th.
That's good.
And on timelines too, you mentioned Joseph would be working on the mural here in the city. What would the?
Like the latter part of April.
Gotcha.
Exciting. That's why I said I'm trying. More than trying.
You're more,
You
you're
know,
on above and beyond.
Yeah. Yes,
These
very
are-
exciting.
if I just may offer, I know this is landmark parks, landmark preservation, but the Senior Action Committee, the weekend before Mother's Day is having a fair, and we have annually. And these things that you have, they look like that, like when I was young, because I did all of this when I was young. These little things we could add to something that, and to make them to give as Mother's Day gifts.
I only got these boxes.
Can you offer us a donation to the Senior Action Committee of the community?
You mean of these?
Yeah, pieces of nature.
Well, that's all I have.
That's all you have.
Yeah, unfortunately, the nature club provided it and people went and grabbed. I was supposed to get more,
Hmm.
but by the time I got there.
I'm sure they grabbed.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
But I can ask,
I'd appreciate it.
yes.
And it's the Senior Action Committee and Walter Alexander is one of the chairs. If we contact or Victor, and we would really appreciate whatever you can donate. We'll definitely give a plug for the parks and for our seniors who that would be a great outing.
Yeah,
In that.
I was gonna say, I think even more importantly,
Right.
increasing awareness so that they can come and participate and see all these great art exhibits and what's happening in the community.
Especially that they don't come out usually until this time of
Yeah,
year.
right.
We would like them
Would
to
be
be
very-
involved in the
No.
community.
Be very great.
So we take it all in, especially since it's free. That's one of the best
Free
parts.
soccer tickle?
Nothing's free.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Maybe.
We thank you. That was wonderful discussion. Thank you very much.
Great job, Savannah. Great job.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say your work is only surpassed by your enthusiasm that I see through the screen. And I'm looking forward. I've been to the other events. I'm looking forward to this one as well. And thank you for always including us and coming back home to CB9. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, folks, and with that, that concludes our presentation segment of the meeting tonight. So we're gonna go back to adopting motions, seeing as quorum has now been established. First off, are there any changes to the agenda that everyone has before them from March 2026 agenda?
Is the agenda online?
Yeah, it's right now. Yeah.
Oh, let's see.
Presentations first.
So.
If not, I'd like to move that we adopt the March 2026 agenda. Second, all right, second. And with that, just to restate, we're now moving to adopt the March 2026 agenda.
Oh, that was.
We'll be taking in votes. All those in favor?
1, 2, 3.
Votes. We're distributing members. All right, Ms. Caldwell is also in favor. So with that, we've got 4 in favor. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Lovely. With that, the motion passes. 4 yes. 4 votes, 4 affirmative votes, no abstentions, no oppositions. And moving on, I now move that we adopt the February 2026 minutes and rotation minutes.
I didn't see that.
Uh,
I didn't see it up there.
I didn't
Was not-
see it.
Was it sent? I was sure it was sent.
Yeah,
I didn't see
I don't recall that.
it.
you remember getting it?
Yeah, it's an attachment. I only saw the agenda.
Yeah.
So. In that case. Give people an opportunity, I think we'll table that for next time. So next month, we'll vote on adopting about the February 26th and March 26th.
The March 26th. January. Oh, March 6th. Okay.
Yeah. So next month, March 26th should be there.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so. With that, we can now move on to parks. Oh, yes, Ms. Coleman.
Question, I'm not wearing the glasses, I apologize, running all the way. Did you include this? Oh. Never mind, that's another committee, I apologize, go ahead. I was talking about a building And that's not me. Okay, bad.
I'll-
I apologize.
No worries. Oh, so moving on to parks announcements and updates. I'll start with Miss Richards, Shannon Richards from the Volunteer Community Lead.
This Mr.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Shannon. Just, Shannon, are you there?
I don't see Shannon on the call tonight.
Okay, very well. So moving on to Leslie Wright. I know you presented earlier. Anything else that you'd like to add?
Just a quick shout out. Our monthly Friends meeting is the second Saturday of every month, 10:30 a.m. to noon, upstairs in rehearsal room B. The season is winding down on our ice skating, so you better get over there to the park. Come on now, as long as Mother Nature cooperates, we'll have ice till the 15th of March. And on Saturday, the 14th of March from 4 to 6, our figure skating club is doing their annual extravaganza show. So admission is free, and we really hope that you turn out. You could actually make a day of it on the 14th from noon to 3 o'clock on the 14th. We're having our Sounds and Steps of Spring end of season showcase of all the classes from little itty bitty kids to seniors with their dancing, their artwork. It's really a wonderful thing that we do in the theater. Figure skating club tryouts are this Sunday, March 8th. If you know anybody who wants to be in the figure skating club, you have to pass a test to be sure that you're at the right level. Those tryouts are 4 to 4:30 this Sunday, the 8th. Again, you can make a day of it on Sunday and go to our Black History Month celebration concert with Harold Melvin's Blue Notes, Sunday at 4:30. It's free, free, free. Doors open at 3 p.m. And if you want to get to the park early, like on Saturday the 7th, come on over for Live on the Hudson, our open mic, 6 to 9 p.m. All talent is always welcome. Pickleball still going, Saturdays 4 to 6 in the gym, totally free. Our senior social this month is on the 19th, 11 o'clock to 2, and the band is Diamonds in Jupiter. Our summer camp open houses are starting up March 21st, and our 5th annual Youth Empowerment Fair is March 26th. So all these flyers have been shared with the community board. They're all posted on the park's website. You can spend all day, every day at Riverbank, and I hope you will. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Wright. Next up, we've got Mallory Craig from the Greenhouse and Learning Gardens. Mallory, you there? Okay, come back, Mallory. So Callie, the National Park Service. Callie. All right, we've got Ashley from the New York City Parks Green Thumb. Ashley, you connected? Oh, John from the Riverside Park and West Harlem Piers Park. John? Okay. Stephanie from the Riverside Park.
Hi, this is Stephanie.
Oh, Stephanie, you're muted.
Oh wait, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Briefly before I go, I know John's not on this call, but I think Gary Rothman is, and he is from Riverside Park. So I don't know if Gary wants to jump in first.
Oh, sure. Gary?
Hey, yeah, we don't have too much to report right now. Just getting over the snow removal and everything, starting getting ready for spring prep. But aside from that, there's not too much going on to report currently for Riverside.
Great, thank you, Gary. Stephanie, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Gary, and thanks all. Hi, Stephanie Cavan from Riverside Park. I work from 120th to 181st Street. Spring is coming, which is great. So next month, I'll be able to talk to you about all the small group community volunteer opportunities that we have that start in April. But this month, I wanted to talk about our Teen Corps program. Every summer, we recruit high schoolers who live within Community Board 9, about 18 or so youth to participate in an internship where you learn a little bit about environmental justice as well as work on restoration projects in Riverside Park, from 110th Street all the way actually to 181st Street. So it's a really exciting opportunity for any high schoolers or any youth who live again in Community Board 9. You get a $1,000 stipend at the end of the summer for 8 weeks of participation. It is Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 o'clock in the morning to 12 p.m. It's about 50 hours in total for the summer. And again, it's a little bit of lesson based on environmental justice issues in Harlem and Washington Heights, as well as restoration projects where you get to get a jump start into a green career, learning how to be a gardener. So again, it's a $1,000 stipend at the end of the summer. And I can drop the link down below. The applications are live. It's on riversideparknyc.org, our website, and you can just type in the search bar Teen Corps. And yeah, and really grateful for funding from the Carvel Foundation and the West Harlem Development Corps as well. Speaking of, they do need an attendance sheet from me. And I believe I had sent one to, I don't know if it was Veronica or somebody, it might have been somebody else, but wondering who can I send that attendance sheet to? Because of the grant, they do need to know that I did a small, that I made an announcement about it at the community board meeting, which I do every year. But yeah, who should I send that form to exactly?
You're welcome to send it over to myself and Christina. We'll review it. We're happy to sign it. Just to confirm, this would basically be us attesting to you having presented and or announced about the subject matter, correct? No more than that.
Yeah, it's like check mark off a box. And I just need to get it done for the grant, which we have to do every year. And so I've had Heather, Jason do it last year. But yeah, I'll also make the same announcement next month as well, because we will be continuing to accept applications. So, but yeah, I'll send that over. But that's the only announcement I have for right now.
Very well. Thank you very much.
And our email is in the chat,
Yeah.
if you want to scroll up in the chat.
Oh, next up, we've got Karen, Friends of St. Nicholas Park. Karen, are you there? I think I might have seen her. Yep.
Yes, I am. Sorry. I'm just eating a bite of dinner. Hello, everyone. Happy day that it almost feels like spring for the first time. I was very excited about that today, the weather. Just a couple of really brief announcements since I know it's getting a little late. So we're, getting in the planning session stages still, but we're getting ready to launch our first programming events in the park with our volunteers for Earth Day. So stay tuned for that. We're still figuring out if it's usually in conjunction with the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority alumni group, which is a fantastic event. And there's always a DJ and well over 100 people, and it's a really joyous, fun event. And that is going to be most likely either April the 18th or 19th for Earth Day. So that'll be our kickoff this year. And we also just got posted today that CCNY is doing an Earth Day, and we'll send all this stuff once we get the flyers to the community board. But the CCNY is also doing an Earth Day event, and it just was posted on our social media today, and that's going to be on Friday, April 24th. And we'll forward that to the community board as well. But everyone's welcome. That's from 10 to 2 to volunteer. And then thirdly, we just, she isn't here today, but just we have a wonderful new leader on our social media and communications platform side of things, and it's Sarwat Yunus, and she's been really doing a wonderful job posting updates and keeping everybody informed through our social media. So take a look for that because she's been really quite active in keeping everybody updated on the park. So that's it, unless there's any questions.
Question,
Thank you very much.
question.
Sharon, just wanted to get the name one more time, please. Look at the new social media.
Yes, Sarwat, Sarwat, Yunus, Yunus.
Ms. Caldwell.
Yes. I noticed there were a lot of events going on from Friends of St. Nicholas Park. I also noticed that on the sidewalk, location, they had like I'd like to get a better understanding because there was vendors or little, booths that were from 141st Street to 135th Street. Then also, it didn't go beyond 135th Street. It went on to 135th Street, which is a building strip, which is a residential, on the corner, there's a bank. So could you explain to me what are you doing?
Is this on St. Nicholas Avenue or on the terrace?
Where are you going to situate your event? That's my question.
Where our events are, we usually stage our events in the plaza at 135th. So it's inside the park on the James Baldwin lawn and then in the plaza.
And the plaza, you mean that's above the steps?
Yeah, right above the subway entrance, there's that plaza and it's at 135th and St. Nicholas Avenue.
So that's not you with the booths outside of the park or anything. You're not doing that.
No, and so I don't know, are you talking about the Saturdays in sort of
Is that you? Do you place anything outside of the park?
we typically no, it depends on the event. I think what you might be maybe what you're referring to is that there is usually starting around 137th Street, there is on Saturdays there is a farmers market from usually May to like November, so maybe that is what you're thinking of, but I'm not sure other than
No,
that.
it wasn't a farmer's market. There were booths. They were selling items and things of that nature that, different.
Oh yeah, that wasn't us. I don't specifically know.
And, okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any further questions? No. Okay. Thank you very much, Karen. Appreciate it. Next up, we've got Clyde from the Friends of Morningside Park. Clyde? Okay, right. Tip Hashi from the New York City Parks Historic Forum.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Hope you're doing well. We have a few announcements. First, I'd like to start off, though, with the Jackie Robinson Day Festival, which will be on April 18th from 12 to 4 in Jackie Robinson Park. This is an annual event, and we are in our 5th year. And in previous years, we've had it's a free family fun event, so we have live music. Community organizations tabling, sports activities, and much more. Sometimes there's also food trucks. Typically Community Board 9 also tables at the event, so please let me know if you're able to do that this year. So that's the first thing. And then in Central Park, we'll have a Women's History Month event taking place on Sunday, March 15th with the Urban Park Rangers from 1 to 2 p.m. This will be at the entrance of East 60th Street and 5th Avenue. You can celebrate Women's History Month with the Urban Park Rangers. You can learn about some women's engagement with music, some made a difference. So they're all going to talk about women who broke records, broke ground, and blazed trails. So that's our Women's History Month tour. And we're still hiring at New York City Parks. There's seasonal job postings still posted, such as City Seasonal Aide, gardener, associate park service worker, and city parks workers. So feel free to take a look at our parks website for all of those listings.
Great.
Thank you.
Anything from you? Thank you very much for coming.
I just want, I just wanted to say that, I've seen that, Jackie Robinson, it is most of it. If you don't make anything else, you need to go through, that and is that the West Indian Day? Celebration is, well, it's such a cultural, events going on in that. None, it's just. Thank you so much for your efforts. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Patricia.
It's fun, really.
I was actually
Everything.
curious. Everyone.
I mean, I think I tabled partially last year. And I think it was inside because last year was slightly inclement weather. So it was inside.
Yes.
Rec building is, but they had TV and all types of activities happening that day. It was just a very family oriented, fun, uplifting day from what I can recall. And everybody who came to the table, I had a great time.
But like to think that it's a long day, and it's a Saturday. And everybody, so you come and do a few hours and then somebody will come and relieve you, or what have you, so that everybody has a chance to experience this event.
Yeah.
It's really very exciting.
Okay, culturally rich, music, family oriented.
Right now, back
And there's
Very
food.
much family, children all over the whole
yeah, I'm
experiences.
hopefully the weather will be.
Yeah, hopefully we get good weather this year and we can stay outside. It's a little challenging being inside because it's confined, so like all the sounds from the music was resonating through the walls. So a little bit harder to hear people, but I'm glad to hear that you still found the experience from last year as we intended for it to be family fun and inviting. So thank you for that comment.
So, Baji, it will be based on whether we're inside or outside, is that what's happening? Or is there a chance that the table is outside?
If it's like raining like last year, then we'll go inside, but we're planning to be outside.
Okay.
Thank you for that. Next up, we've got Matt from the New York.
Hey everyone, I'll let Stephen Cunningham, our recently added park manager, go first with any updates, and then I can fill in on any additional updates.
Great. Stephen, the floor is yours.
I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so as far as updates that we have, like Tapasha, just to echo what she said, we're definitely in our hiring season here. So if you have any, young adults with driver's licenses, we're really looking for those. CDL licenses, CDL drivers, we could use the boost in that area as well. We did just finish up our snow operations. It was a bit of a challenge, but we got through it. Hopefully the weather stays, at this peak and able to melt the rest of the snow so we can get the rest of the parks clean and focus on, our spring, cutting grass, cutting everything that's coming up. So we're getting all our stuff ready and hopefully we'll be out there to serve everybody properly. And that's it for me.
Thank you, Stephen. Any
You're welcome.
questions?
What is a CDL license?
Oh, commercial driver's
Commercial,
license.
yeah.
Oh, what?
Your commercial driver's
Okay,
license.
thank you.
Like, you want to drive one of those big rigs.
Yeah, thank you.
Then you get to park in all those locations that many of us don't get to park.
Yeah, I actually saw that walking over here. There was a big rig parked out of bus stop.
Yeah.
So,
Guys, so you know the drill.
yeah.
All right, and last but not least, we've got, and I'm sorry, possibly got to announce it, so please
I'll
be
chime
quiet.
in with some additional updates here really quick, but I think Karen, do you have a question? Her hand's up.
Well, I just wanted to say to Stephen, I wanted to just give you a shout out and say thank you. I know the snow removal this year has been a huge challenge, and when we reached out directly to sort of point out some areas of the park that needed some special attention and love because of ice impaction, you responded immediately, and we really, really appreciate that, and just wanted to say thank you.
Definitely, that is much appreciated.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank
And Steph.
you.
So a few updates that I have on March 21st at Montefiore Square from 10 to 12. We're going to hold it. It's my park day. The friends group there is going to be doing some spring prep in the gardening beds there and on the lawn. So, the group there has been a great supporter of the community group and the community. So come out to Montefiore Square on March 21st. Also on April 4th at the 133rd Street Community Garden, which is just a little bit outside this district between Adam Clayton Powell and Lenox. They're going to be hosting a garden carpentry 101 shop where they're going to be teaching people how to build raised beds. So if anyone's interested in that, that's on April 4th from 10 to 2. And then just want to remind everybody that every Saturday at 9 a.m. in Morningside Park, New York Roadrunners hosts a run walk program, which is a great way for people to get out now that the weather is peaking and get some exercise. I know Savona mentioned the March 7th birding in Morningside Park and the March 28th stargazing as well. And last but not least, we also wanted to make sure that people knew that also just a couple blocks south of the district, Annabella Vilas Playground is now open and out of capital construction. That just opened last week. So I'm sure there are some people, in this community that utilize that since it's pretty close to the district border. A great ADA accessible playground with great climbing structures, a restroom, publicly accessible restroom in that playground as well. So go check it out. And I guess one other announcement or reminder for those that are looking to have gatherings in our parks, this spring and summer, our spots are filling up. So please, if you are looking to do a permitted event in our parks, apply sooner than later because there's a lot of people who apply early first of the year. So you want to hold a gathering, reserve your space now. That's all I have. I'll be happy to answer any questions that anyone may have.
I have one question. On April 4th, you said from 10 to 2, they'll be teaching people how to build those plant beds, the wooden thing. Where is that located?
That's on 133rd Street between Adam Clayton Powell and Lenox Ave. And I will put the online posting off of our parks calendar in the chat as well.
Thank you.
I'll do that for Montefiore, the Montefiore Square event as well.
Where's the Annabella Park? Is that the correct name?
Annabella Vilas is on 108th Street between Columbus and Amsterdam. It's right across from Booker T athletic field, and there's a school adjacent Booker T.
Okay,
Got it.
so further down.
Great. Thank you very much, Matt.
Thanks.
Last but not least, please do correct me for I am mispronouncing it, but Yoon,
Ewan.
From West Harlem Historic District. Floor is all yours if you are there. Ewan? No. Okay. And that concludes our parks announcements and updates segment. So then moving on to new business.
I guess I did have. I did want to, I was wondering if that building, what is that, 1727, is that part of us?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Okay, I wanted to us to discuss that.
Uh,
Can we talk about that?
So,
Well, I'm sorry, why are you bringing that up at this particular meeting, Mr. Hopewell?
Because that's landmark.
Housing is really dealing with that, the housing.
The housing, that's what I
in
thought
terms of
so
land
too,
use.
because they have housing issues here.
Right, but.
And hold on,
Yeah.
let me finish.
Oh.
That we have housing issues that, it seems to come to us, for instance, the property on our, at the bottom here, I'm looking at these buildings, for permits or whatever, isn't that a housing issue as well at
727, now, as far as my understanding is concerned, in terms of this committee, the focus is landmarks and preservation. In terms of, let's say, 1727, which does involve housing, is a whole host of other issues connected with that. And that's probably better suited and served in dealing with, in terms of that particular issue.
because of the issue being of housing, more than that.
That's a predominant issue.
I got it.
No.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just laying it out. So this one, that because when I saw the other issues for the landmark, right?
Mhm.
For these, that's the old business. We already
Yes.
did new business.
so new business comes first. and
I'm
then
sorry.
The same one's gonna be done.
Oh.
I have a question,
Yes.
it's my first meeting, so
Yeah.
I don't
Welcome.
want to step out of protocol.
Hope you're the first of many more. Go ahead.
I understand that, Vincent isn't here, I'm representing, as a homeowner in the historic, around the Public Avenue district. Would that be covered under the West Harlem district in terms of business under that umbrella?
Which streets are you on again?
I'm looking at kind of that strip from the Convent Avenue through the, from 143rd all the way up to 148, that whole meter, that would.
Mhm.
Okay, I had a question that pertains, I guess, to two areas. One was the old business in terms of dilapidated housing and ill repair. And it was an issue that was brought up in March of 2025, a year ago. And I wanted to know who is the contact person that the committee that oversees those identified buildings. And so referencing the March 5th meeting of 2025, 356 Convent Avenue was and remains to be a dilapidated building and an eyesore in the community.
Oh,
And with that, what I know of historically, that there was an emergency declaration to demolish it. And I wanted to know what the status is of that.
okay.
And so I don't know where that falls in terms of business.
I'll have to look
That's
into the
landmark.
status, the status of the building, whether it's a landmark or not,
Yes,
but
That's landmark.
it is landmark, it
Okay.
is.
Yeah.
It is landmark. That's the property owned by Convent Avenue Baptist Church.
okay.
And being that I'm a minister at Convent Avenue Baptist Church, I can tell you that we have had a meeting, we have the money, and we have the funding, and we are currently repairing those buildings. Convent Avenue Baptist Church is a very large church, and that building basically, even though dilapidated, forgive us, it's owned by the congregation. And therefore, what we are doing is we are rebuilding. The inside structure is being worked on and it's being solidified. Money has been raised to make the preparations, being that it has far less violations than many of those buildings over there. The act just want to demolish property that, just we understand there was an event that happened inside and homeless people were living in or whatever, but a police officer felt. Am I relating this correctly? Well, basically, we had a recent meeting and we want to include, we want that building to stay. We want our property to stay. Our property, that has been Convent Avenue Baptist Church. We've been here almost 100 years. So we want our property and we want to also increase it so that it can become part of a campus.
It's interesting because I mean, when I think about that block, from a descendant, my great grandmother, own property in that
Okay.
area, so I'm very familiar of the block.
Right.
And what I'm aware of is that, and I believe in preservation, so that's one thing I wanna state is
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
I also believe in stewardship
Right.
and, that when a building is dilapidated, I think it is a loss historically. So it is good to hear if there is a plan forward.
Yes.
I have seen that no recent action in that unit.
Mhm.
Do you, if, and I don't, I don't know if we could have a conversation offline. But I'm curious about what the timeline is for repair in terms of restoring it.
Ms. Caldwell, if you can please.
Please,
answer that briefly,
yeah,
and then
we
take it
can do
offline.
that off.
Okay, offline.
Yes.
Yeah,
And,
sure.
and I'm only saying that because I want to be mindful of everyone's time.
Yes, sir.
You need to be by 30.
Bad.
Don't wish it.
Bad.
Yes, I appreciate it.
But thank you for
But this is
approaching the issue. It's really important.
Each other.
Good.
Yeah. Absolutely. Very aptly said.
Great grandmother's is here.
Karen, I can see your hand up. You want to go ahead and unmute yourself?
Yeah, sorry. I just wanted, since I know it's not technically within the jurisdiction of this committee, but I did want to respond to Ms. Caldwell's question about 1727 Amsterdam, because there are some like very tight time deadlines. So I just want to call people's attention to Yutha's email from this afternoon on 1727, and that there's a deadline of Thursday at noon, I think Friday at noon for submitting testimony to the subcommittee on the city council. So just take a look for that email, Ms. Caldwell, if you're interested, or anyone else, to put in your comments regarding that project.
For reference, it was sent at 4:13 PM.
I received that email. The reason I keep bringing up that issue is because that was that corner that they're talking about, for a very long time, more than 50, 60 years has been a medical center. And for the community, I've even taken my son, who was, I don't really want to tell you his age, but he's a very grown man. And so we're losing that. And also they're talking about putting in a building that's going to bring people with mental health issues. And there's just less than a block away an elementary school. So I would like everybody to check your email from Yutha and send a comment in, because what we're saying is I believe is that we need housing in New York, but we are inundated with different mental health facilities and our children need to be safe. So instead of them building that building for a mental health facility, why don't they have apartment units for families who need housing? And that's it.
Ms. Caldwell, as you know, from housing, I strongly share your view and hope that somehow that eventually does come to fruition and we're able to extract some sort of concessions. Things don't look as promising as many of us would like them to look like at present, but
I believe.
from your lips to the good Lord's ears.
Okay.
All right, folks.
Yeah.
New business, let us start with a review of February 2026's LPC permits and violations for Manhattan Community Board 9. Christina, if I can have you please share. Yep, there we go. Thank you very much. Yeah. So as we can see.
I can see that.
Oh, yeah.
Can you? I see it. It's it's blurry. I keep moving. I don't.
Is there anything you can point out to us?
Right, Matthew, are those all within RCB?
Yes.
Oh.
I believe so.
Okay.
So let's look at this.
Okay, put your name, then. Name.
Could I just read through the highlights? 47 Hamilton Terrace, interior alterations, permit type withdrawn. 435 Riverside Drive, repair of natural and cast stone, repair of fired and clay masonry. Certificate of no effect. 426 West 144. Oh, that was one that we discussed. Filing any work, rear yard decks, filing drawings, certificate of appropriateness. 2929 Broadway, sign off, notice of compliance. 2935 Broadway, sign off, notice of compliance. 420 Riverside Drive. HVAC, certificate of no. 535 West 134th Claremont Theater Building. It's an individual landmark doing interior alterations. 400 West 150th. Deteriorated architectural features being replaced, cast and natural stone. 600 West 116th, painting of facades and reconstruction on non-occupiable space. 611 West 111th Street, interior alterations. 542 West 120, West 112, interior alterations. 507 West 111th, amendment to a previously issued permit. 380 Riverside Drive, primary facades, permit for minor work. 527 Cathedral Parkway, interior alterations. 454 West 155th, interior alterations.
430 West, what?
454 West 155th is, landmark type is just the historic district. 3320 Broadway, Claremont Theater Building. Again, notice of compliance. 259 Convent, City College. Staff advisory report was done. 313 Convent Avenue.
Where's that located? 313.
Looks like 143rd Street.
That's what you're talking. Right?
Most important to note is that there are no violations.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying on this, if there are no
No
violations.
violations.
And I just wanted to throw in that, as far as LPP is concerned, we're talking about the exterior facade of a building to maintain a landmark preservation of an area. But all that internal work that they're talking about, repairs, and that's not us.
That's what the.
Nothing major.
Am I correct? I don't know.
So you have this, it's actually my first time coming in a while and seeing that list.
Yeah.
So it's tracking the status of all those different entities within RCB. I was trying to understand, you were going through the list
Yeah.
and just looking to make sure everything was captured, seeing the status. I'm
Yeah.
asking for my
So
own
this
edification.
is all the issued permits.
Okay.
Yes, new permits, and then if there were violations, which they're not,
Right, okay.
those would be listed, and then,
you would have to follow.
it also lists the applications. So
Oh.
the ones that are under review still.
Wow, that's a lot. How many were there?
So present. you know, so-
Oh, man.
One page of issued permits, one page of, applications, and then a violation.
But no, so for all of those that are not in repair, that are not up to par, they have applications for whatever they need.
Correct.
That's, that.
And the one that we have, just to address your questions.
Go ahead, Linda.
The one that we have before February, as of right now, is November 25, and that's gonna be discussed shortly in whole business. But what's in between, Christina and I discussed,
Okay,
the necessity to review that. Fortunately, because we're pressed for time, we can't review everything. between
Right,
November and
right.
now.
that's
Could
why
you forward us, could you forward?
Absolutely,
Yes,
yes.
forward that list when you forward the February
Sure.
and the month, that would be great. Then I can sit and.
Absolutely, and then next month, rather, if there are any questions, anything to
Right,
discuss, please. let's
Yeah.
discuss.
wow.
Okay,
Yes.
so yes, I was referencing my earlier summary minutes from March 5th of 2025. In which under the old business updates and action items, there were several properties listed, one of which was 356 and 451 Convent Avenue, 726, 722 St. Nicholas Avenue, St. Luke's Episcopal Church, Convent Avenue, and West 141st Street Historic Structure Delay, in which it stated that discussion of distressed properties, albeit rushed and unclear, as the thought that Brady presented, and it stated that 356 Convent was in touch with the LPC, demo permit issued, update on standing demo delayed, asbestos must be removed. So in terms of progression, because I haven't seen any minutes, is there any status update on those properties? Is there, I see that you look at these permits?
Yeah.
That were, these were closed or? Just presented.
The permits were newly issued.
So
The ones that are already in progress aren't on this list. that we
Okay.
just looked over.
Is there somewhere
The
with that
dates for
story?
application, the dates are between February 3rd to 27th. That's what was listed.
So that's where it would be listed, February 20.
From the 3rd through the 27th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I believe some of permit related things that should be public record, I believe.
So, yeah, where would that, I know there's BOB and all of that, but
Yeah.
is there another one about base security information?
Yeah, if you share your contact info
Mhm.
with me, I could try to point you in the right direction.
That would be helpful.
To do some of
I
that.
know you mentioned this was your first time attending.
Yes,
Did you include your email over there?
I will do so.
Please do,
Yes.
because that way you can reach out to me, share it with you.
Wonderful.
We welcome your contributions.
Yes, I don't want to take things off protocol. I apologize. I don't want it to, yeah.
So these are all important matters, and we appreciate it.
Wonderful.
So it's, she's a guest, lady.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that. Yeah. I'm not trying to be. So.
So if there are no more questions, we'll move on to the review of 2027 preliminary budget.
Where's that?
So
127 preliminary.
you
budget.
sent that on the 2nd. An email, I'll give you the time shortly. 6:56 PM. So that was sent to us on the 2nd. And it's a 25-page document. So we're definitely not gonna be able to go review all of that. We're just reviewing the main portion
Okay,
of this. So if I could direct everybody's attention to PDF page 5, which is also numbered page 210. That would be the actual budget that was sent by the on the 7th. So
you sent the budget.
You should launch.
You're done.
Oh, you can send.
You can send it on the 2nd at 6:56 PM.
Okay, and,
All of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay. And, but you're co-chairing another committee, right?
Well, I co-chair many and I.
And you, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Omnipotent.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I don't understand. Well, how do you determine this budget? How, and.
I'll let the chairs answer, because this budget isn't determined by our community board, it's just sent out
Yeah.
to all the community boards.
Oh, so it's different by the city.
And it's a preliminary budget.
I'm good.
Right.
I mean, yeah, like, not easy like Sunday.
So we have a number of requests here that were made. First, as you can see on the screen, there's a request to improve access.
Can you enlarge that, Christie?
Yeah, sure.
No, thank you.
There we go. So the first request, as we can see, is a request to improve access to a park or amenity. So that includes playgrounds, outdoors, athletic fields. And the explanation for that is that, well, essentially they're asking for the provision of funds to complete the rebuilding upstairs at 133rd Street and St. Nicholas. For the repair and rebuilding of stairs, also at 140th Street and 129th, that's St. Nicholas Park. I know you're interested in.
Oh, yes, what are they doing with at St. Nicholas Park?
So from what we
That's
see,
the
the
children.
explanation is, yes, it's the stairs that they're looking to address through that specific request, the first one that we're addressing right now. And so the repair of stairs essentially is what they're looking for funding for.
And what do they propose to do in repair for the playground for our toddlers?
As the father of a toddler, that's a great question. Definitely merits looking further into it.
I am requesting that that Yusef Salam, who donated money, plus this what, 100 and something million dollars to the New York City Department of Parks, that they also involved themselves in making sure, they've said that this would be completed by the fall of 2026. So Matt would be able to tell you a progress report and a time that they see that this would be completed. Because we have youth, a lot of, toddlers with two, 3, 4-year-olds in that
My
playground.
son cannot fully speak, but he would be very happy to know that you were standing up for.
As you brought out before, I recall well when the presentation was made by, I can't remember the entity at the moment, but this is why we review the budget. And see if there are things that aren't being looked at as we've requested. There's an opportunity for us as a committee and as a community board to state what our needs are, what we're looking for.
Right.
And make sure it gets in there. And I know you brought that up more than once.
And from our estimation.
Yeah.
And research, it's been over 40 to 50 years since that playground has been repaired, updated. We want an overall. We want that redone, and with, how many millions do they have? 120 something million for the New York City Parks Department, that one little playground.
Yeah.
With additional funding from our local representative, is that Yusef Salam?
Yeah.
That we'd like to have, an expected date of completion.
And we have a hand raised online too.
Yes, Karen, take your question.
Yeah, sorry, I had to hop off a little bit and I just jumped back into I see you must be going through like the statement of needs or the community statement of needs and again to Ms. Cole, I hope I'm very hopeful that we're gonna have some more very specific information very, very soon with respect to the playground at 133rd. So stay tuned for that. Sorry, I can't sort of share more at this moment, but I'm very hopeful that we can give you a further update very soon because Matt's and Tampashi aren't on anymore, but I'll say that. And then hopefully by next meeting, maybe we can share some more information.
Oh, thank you, that would be greatly appreciated, greatly appreciated, thank you.
Absolutely.
The next request actually seems to possibly address that. We're centered on the provision of funds to renovate St. Nicholas Park Playground at 100 West 103rd. Yeah.
Oh, that was the next.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yes.
this was in the prior top 10, and that's what I was referring to just now. And we've been told the project's been funded. We don't have all the details, and that's kind of what I'm referring to. So hopefully more updates specifically very soon.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay. And since we're running a little low on time, I'm gonna glance through the next few before we then move on to old business. If I may. So next up, we've got the provision of funds to maintain sidewalks along the north and south back quarter of Riverside Drive. That's by Grant's Tomb. We've also got a request for the provision of funds to renovate St. Nicholas Park Playground once again. So from
Thank you.
Really want it renovated.
Yes.
It's one of those issues where we can long overdue, and thankfully the city seems to be on board. Next up, we've got the provision of funding for public comfort stations at Morningside Park, St. Nicholas Park. That's at 155th Street, the West Harlem Pierce Park. So there's a request for additional funding there.
It doesn't go up to 150.
I don't think I think that's 125th, but isn't that what's that doing from you?
Yeah.
The pier. That's at 125th. That's a mistake.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And then, well, in the counter explanation to that, there's someone that flagged it and said there is no Audubon Park at west of 150.
Oh, they flagged
Exactly, I was like.
Yeah.
They went to the last meeting, they talked about, having more access to the waterway or whatever, but they wanted, it was a question of safety, that's what we had at the last board.
That's it.
I used to chair
Mhm.
West Harlem Piers, and I can tell you exactly what happened.
What happened?
So Len Greco was the project manager,
Mhm.
and he didn't see it. I didn't know about it. But they didn't connect the sewer line to West Harlem Piers. The sewer line is all the way on 12th Avenue. And they didn't connect it until after they built out the site. And then said Musa was doing contracts to city to put in different bathrooms, self-cleaning bathrooms.
Okay.
Len was asked, would he allow the incisions in the brand new site for a self-cleaning bathroom? He said no.
Yeah,
He
they,
wanted disturbed.
right,
That's why there is no bathroom in West Harlem Parish Park.
but they have installed them.
Not yet.
No,
It's
they
not,
have-
it's proposed to be installed,
yeah.
And to your knowledge, were they contractually obligated to do so?
I don't know if Samusa is working with the city now. So when I saw that Mandami was doing this thing with Julie Menon, I was very confused
right,
about what was happening. So, I don't know what's happening. So there's certain things that didn't transpire the way it was supposed to. But that was the mistake that no one saw until after they finished the build out and realized, oh, there was no connection to the sewer line.
To give this thought some teeth, let's try looking into whether they were contractually obligated, because if they were, I think we have ample ground to stand on to go to Mayor Mamdani and say, look.
But he wants a bathroom. I just don't understand how they're working this all out.
Well, I think not too long ago, they did, like you said, that TV, Menon and him did that photo op where they were doing a palette. But
right,
there was supposed to be the installation of the self-cleaning bathroom.
right.
And so my understanding is that that was supposed to go through. When it's supposed to occur is the question. But I thought that was a done deal, so we probably should follow up to see
Okay,
where that
Vic,
stands.
when we had a meeting and Vic Deckwood spoke, and unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to walk over there.
Right.
But in fact, they were installed. They have several, they have installed those over there. They have people that have businesses, from
You talking about Portisand?
Yeah,
No.
no, the self-cleaning.
the self-cleaning.
It wasn't installed yet, we were looking at where it was going to go, cause I walked over there. So to look at and to determine if that was the best location, so not to drag it out, cause I
Yes,
know
we
it's
just-
late.
Well,
But
okay,
we should follow up on that, cause I thought that
that's
was
a
a
definite
done deal.
point of contention.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
let's follow up on that.
It's not gonna be in the park, but near the park, because.
No, it was originally supposed to be in two locations, in the southern and the northern.
I see.
And the mistake was never dealt with.
Okay, well, if it's a mistake, that constitutes a violation of contract, then I think we have a lot more to stand on.
You go, boy. Okay.
We'll ask Mayor Mamdani to do a video. then.
Yes,
It's-
yes.
It's just more than just, we want it,
It-
we want it and we were entitled to it, and that's.
Right.
All right, so very quickly, folks, we got requests for. Well, actually,
It is that time.
yes.
I rely.
Ashley, can I hop on? Come on, let's go try.
And on heart, I've tried to keep everyone on. Yeah, thank you, actually, here's one, here's one. No, thank you. Okay, and two more items, additional funding was requested for, so the Alexander Hamilton Playground was one of them. Another was to renovate the Jacob Schiff Park, playground, that's on Amsterdam and 136th.
Uh-huh.
Furthermore, the kayak launch at the West Harlem Piers.
Okay, so that, okay, just to let you know, I have pushed and Amy, when she was with Mark, she's still with Mark, so Amy and I, we have been working for years to get that renovated. So the mistake was, Parks gave the wrong figures on what it would take to renovate the kayak launch. They gave a figure of $300,000. Mark Levine gave the $300,000 for it. Then me and Amy for 2 years tried to figure out where was that $300,000, because we couldn't find the $300,000. So as Adams was coming in, I happened to speak to Liam Kavanaugh, and he was the interim commissioner. He found the 300,000 and transferred it to EDC because they were better able to do this than Parks. We transferred it to EDC. We called EDC. They said, "Yep, we got the 300,000, but we need more money." More money. How much more money? 4 million. $4 million more dollars. So I put some pressure on city parks, and the commissioner at the time, I'm forgetting her name, Sue Donahue, she transferred 4 million to EDC. We have tried to get EDC to start the project. Okay, that is the issue, getting them to go through what they need to go through. Now that Mark is the comptroller, you may have some help there, because now Mark could then push. Okay, so therefore they can start it on it, because it can't be that they don't have any money.
Question, who is it that this? I don't know.
Very quickly.
Who is EDC? Just some.
New York City Economic Development Corporation,
Excellent. Okay.
they built the park.
So basically, the money exists, but the allocation, which is a classic point, they have the money,
Yeah.
they have determined and earmarked certain monies to go certain places, but we find the fault in the allocation of the monies that were given for this specific purpose to work on the project. Somewhere in between, someone's holding money.
No, they got the money.
No, they've got the money.
They got the money.
So
So now it's.
so if I understand correctly.
Yeah, you gotta get them to move on the contracts
the
and.
total they
yeah.
needed was 4.3 million. First they
Yes.
got 300,000, then they got the 4 million. And now the question that I think is being asked is, well, if you got the money, and that's all you need, where's the timeline?
Right.
So let's follow up and try to get a timeline from EDC.
You may wanna also work with the waterfront committee too, to collectively or jointly push.
Okay.
To get this done. Another thing I heard. The group that's trying to do the water adventure.
They presented last night.
Okay.
They presented.
They
last night.
need EDC to do some work. Because the issue is the tides. And I witnessed that with my own eyes. That you need to pay attention to the tides for the gangway so that it can move up and down as necessary to get people onto boats safely. So that's another issue you got to deal with. They are stuck. They can't move forward until EDC does it.
Okay, so that's the second point that we should follow up with EDC on. But the first in particular, I think, is a top priority that needs to be pressed on, because if the cash is there
Since 2012.
since 2012,
Since 2012, that kayak launch has
14 years.
Okay, and I asked them, out of respect for Cecil Corbin Marks, name it after him. Cause Cecil was the one who went to Scott Stringer
Right,
to get the money
right.
to put the kayak launch there.
Okay. Mamdani mentioned that we have people that are contracted to do work, but somehow one contractor will do all the parks, and maybe somehow we can
No.
give everybody, give other people
No.
a chance to do work, but let the work be
No.
done.
No, it's more to it.
Okay, never mind.
Okay. No.
Well, tell me,
Who's on that?
that's not it?
Okay, so this is the deal.
Should we take this offline?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at a time.
You wanna stop the recording?
Okay, so I'm like,
What's that? Oh, we're.
can I make a motion?
Let's, yeah, let's keep it in the morning.
Let us.
Can we, just cover this November LCC permits, no violation?
No violations, so
We're
We're
good.
good at that.
we're good with that. Okay.
I make a motion that we go past that part.
And I think the other item that
I can't.
Folks.
I have to do it.
Oh,
Folks, very quickly, because I know that this has been a bit of an outstanding issue.
Yeah.
And I've, one thing that we've made very clear to our friends that have come up with the proposal, with respect to, the historic structure decay concerns on 451 Convent Avenue, 726 and 720, second.
141st?
No,
Yeah,
you're talking about
yeah,
between-
empty lots, okay.
So I was curious about why that was on our.
So, well, if it's an empty lot, then I think we need to,
What street is that?
Let me tell you.
451 Convent Avenue, that
What are the cross streets?
That was
Thank you.
on 150th.
150.
Oh,
150th and Convent Avenue?
That's the beginning of it.
I sent a picture.
That's a garden.
It looked like it was for sale.
The
So
gar-
there was a building that was demolished there.
I
Yeah,
thought,
Oh, the building, there was a building demolished over there.
it was a lot, isn't it?
then now it's just an empty lot.
Right, I
And it
literally
has a
just
for
walked-
sale sign.
Yeah, I walked down the comments the other day, so there was nothing there.
I'd like to walk down there and take a look.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
So,
Yeah.
so, Miss Jason, I think, generously volunteered to go have a look, and we welcome her input, but as far as the issuing an approval or lack thereof, procedurally speaking, we can only do so based on feedback from committee members. So if I can enlist committee members to kindly, Ms. Caldwell, that'd be much appreciated.
And that one is the one that was for 426 West 144,
Excellent. So,
which I went to as well.
excellent. So, we'll have.
One Convent Avenue.
Yeah, so this is the one, if you recall, the building is on Convent, but they were doing the deck that's in the back.
Oh,
Which-
those are the ones that were doing that,
Yeah.
And one thing that we made crystal clear to them is that we weren't gonna issue a recommendation before hearing back from their neighbors. Right, just telling us something is a
that's
nice,
fair.
fine and dandy project. Obviously, they're there to dutifully represent their interests and their project and advocate for it. But, you know, if we're gonna be the ears and eyes of the community, we need to actually hear back from their neighbors. And so we directed them to share pamphlets of some sort and to send notice to the extent possible.
They have been doing this for 2 years for that deck on top.
Okay.
They have not given a response from the community, probably because the community is not in agreement.
Okay, well,
That's a tight knit area.
okay,
Okay.
if we can please, reach out to the folks that we know, are able to do so. I think there's some of the ones that contribute, but in just a moment, if we can please reach out to their neighbors, try to solicit some feedback from them,
Some feedback.
some feedback, so that then we actually know that whatever, you know, position we take of the, matter is one that's informed rather than us just, you know, going out in a bit of a limb. But I concur. I think when there's that much, if there was that much notice that was being provided and we're not hearing back, it sounds like maybe they were
Even-
saying,
even-
sorry, you don't show your stuff.
Even our chair got involved.
Yeah.
People did state that they were concerned about dust in the area. These people own these townhouses over there.
Yeah.
And, basically, it was some concern about, you know, I think there was feedback given. Basically, they have gotten no approval from the neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know, there was.
And that's exactly why I declined to even entertain the idea
So they
of
waited.
supporting the measure without having heard back from the neighbors. And if that's,
It has been done.
Well, I'd like if you kindly have the opportunity to reach out to some of them.
Have you
Get some
invited
feedback.
them to the committee meeting?
That would be actually great.
They were invited, I believe that area.
Which one?
It was already a no-go. That's like Coda.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. 451, 726.
451, I remember that part of that particular property in the New York Post. It was owned by the quote unquote bag lady and they demolished it. So that's why it's an empty lot.
Okay.
I found the article here, but I do recall because I followed this.
Okay, yeah, and they're looking to build, I think,
Yeah, sure.
don't quote me on the numbers. I think the limit is some 12 feet or something when it comes to a certain, edifice or the construct that's up top, and they're looking to go 13 or more, which is above and beyond. So,
Does somebody own that line?
well, not a lot, but the neighbors would then have their sites obstructed.
Is
So,
that city property?
It is landlocked, they can't build.
it's very complicated.
That because
Yeah, right. So before we issue,
Right.
any sort of supported measure on our homes, hear back to the neighbors to make sure that they don't take any umbrage with it. And if so, let's invite them to attend so that they can present their side of how they feel.
I think that's important.
You mean that vacant lot, right?
Yeah, make sure like whatever block associations are within that area
Yes,
are on our list and invite them. So
absolutely.
that you can
Mhm.
hear and make sure there's enough notice so that
Absolutely.
they have a chance to state their position.
And that is the property,
Yep.
if it's city property and we're in such desperate need
Yeah.
of housing. Yeah.
Uh,
Let's work this thing. Come on, you know what I'm saying?
Abraham and Christina, can I jump in for a second? I had to step away. I just came back. Were you discussing the property where they wanted to put a balcony or terrace on the back of the building?
That's correct. That's the one.
That was one of them, right?
Yeah, let him.
So that was Hamilton Terrace.
That one is
That's probably-
426 West 144. And so I believe the issue was that the deck could be slightly visible from Hamilton Terrace, like from the back.
Right. That's next to, kind of adjacent to, I lost track, Mike. Yeah, from Hamilton Terrace, you can see there, if they put that up, you can see it. Now, the other property is 451 Convent, that vacant lot, which I actually passed today. I saw them doing some work on the street outside. So it's two different properties we're talking about, correct? I just want to make sure I'm on the same page.
Yes, 451 was a demolished building, so it's now empty lot.
It's an empty lot. Yeah.
Right. And then the other one is on 144th. They want to put the terrace or deck on the back, correct?
Yes.
Okay, no, I thought we were talking about the same, confusing the two. Okay, I just wanted to be clear. I think Heather has a hand up. She might have a question as well.
Heather, please.
It's good to see you, Heather.
The applicant was.
Yeah.
You're echoing.
Echo in.
Sorry.
Turn your volume down a little bit, Heather.
Yeah.
I'll shut off something.
Yeah, if you're on two devices, if you can.
If you're on two devices, we're getting harmonics.
Yeah, we're getting that go.
Sorry, my phone dropped, sorry. When the applicant presented last month for West 144th Street, did you say, is that what you were discussing? The deck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, they indicated to us that they were going to present at a landmarks hearing on the 24th. Are you aware that they did present at the landmarks hearing on the 24th and landmarks approved their application? And they stated that they did not receive input from Community Board 9. I watched the hearing. I regularly watch the hearings.
Well, that's patently false, because what happened is we had inclement weather where we couldn't really ask people to go out of their way and assume, a risk of injury to inspect the property. I know that you had volunteered to inspect it for yourself, Ms. Jason, and we were.
I'm having a difficult time hearing, sorry, but I'm just letting the community board be aware when applicants tell us their hearing date, and I specifically asked that question at last month's meeting. I know that I have no right to speak, no right to provide input, even though I'm a member of the community board. But I just am reporting that they did present their application, the same one that they presented last month to this committee, and their application was approved. And it was stated that the community board failed to provide input.
Ms. Jason, just to gently correct one thing that you said, your input is appreciated and welcomed. The only distinction that I'd like you to make is that procedurally speaking, when issuing an approval or disapproval or a position on behalf of the committee, the input that we require from the folks that inspect it would have to come from committee members. It's nothing personal against anyone.
I'm not disputing anything that you're saying. I'm just reporting that they went to they did have their hearing as they stated, and they were approved. All they're obligated to do is present to the community board. It's up to the community board to write a letter or a resolution to the commission, the Landmarks Preservation Commission, and state these are the reasons why you have an issue with the application, because the applicant failed to inform their neighbors. This is our responsibility as community board members.
Right.
Okay, I'm just reporting that their application was approved. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah,
And we asked them to delay that presentation.
Right, but you have to put it in writing that that's what you want, because when they tell you that they have an application, that they have a hearing date, which I specifically asked that question so that you were aware that prior to that hearing date, you know, you get on the calendar with the executive committee and then get that letter, you know, also presented to the general board so we can vote and say that these are the reasons why we feel that this applicant should not or should be able to, you know, to move forward with their hearing. We have to inform the commission of a decision. No decision, no communication with the commission means basically that the applicant can move forward with their application. All they're required to do is present before the community board. We have requirements that they have to inform their neighbors, block associations, get, you know, input, but we did not do that as community board members, or committee members did not require that.
So basically,
just one thing I wanted to say to that. I
mean, prior, because this was an issue that was supposed to be up before the board as of January. I understand that the January meeting was canceled. I never known of a community committee meeting to ever be canceled. So during that time, it should have been communicated to the applicant that they needed to post, they needed to inform the neighbors. That would be fair to them, to give them what the requirements are. But then when they came and they presented to this committee last month.
I'm sorry, Ms. Heather, I had Miss Jason, I had to mute you, but I did specifically inform them of that, so they weren't not informed. If that was their contention is factually incorrect, and there is an email record to that. All right, so with that, I think now that you've done.
So now we know what's going on, we should follow up.
Yes,
And
so I will address this with Victor offline and
Right.
follow up with that, and then when it comes to the executive board meeting later this month, the third.
Yeah. By the general board meeting, we should have a resolution that states that we requested of them to get feedback from the neighborhood boards. And that they'd hold their meeting until they got back to us with that information.
Yeah.
They told us they would, they did not, and therefore we neither approved nor disapproved.
Absolutely. And it was
To
made,
LPC.
and it was made crystal clear. I'm sorry, at one point, the back out completed the
I'll leave it.
3 properties that we were discussing earlier, but that was the point that I wanted to make. It was that they did not get a response. They got a response, and what we said was, we're not gonna be rigid to the point where we're saying flat out no before hearing from neighbors. But on the other hand, we're gonna say yes before we hear from your neighbors. And I think that's a more than fair position. And if folks concur on the executive board, I'd like to include some language there that makes it crystal clear that the contentions that they made were simply incorrect. They're not factually based. And you know,
So
I don't want to go as far as condemning them per se, but I would like that, I would like that to.
So
go on
can I
record.
make a motion?
Yes,
I make
please.
a motion that on the action that we just spoke about,
Mhm.
that they did that of what was said to them.
Mhm.
That they did not follow up on, and our resolution should be made to the LPC with saying what we just said. Somebody say.
Great. Anybody second motion?
Say second.
Yep, second. Second, all right, well, we'll just have.
The committee.
So, Andrea,
Right, Andrea's a committee member, okay.
we've got a second from Andrea, so
Yeah.
let's. put
That
that
means
down.
that you agree with them.
So we're gonna proceed to a vote, just to remind everyone, this is a motion on Ms. Caldwell.
On stating that we did not ignore them, that we asked for them to get feedback from the community before they met with LPC.
So
And
a
they
motion
told
to
us,
set the record straight and clear with respect to what was communicated from the committee to them. Like to take
That's it.
a vote on that, all those in favor?
just raise your hands.
We can't do.
No. Only committee members.
No,
Yeah.
it's committee business, okay.
Yeah, this is, so we've got 4
Yeah.
in favor, any opposition? Any abstentions? Well, by definition, there's only 4 of us, so, this
Okay.
motion passes. All right, and with that.
What is it?
Ewan, yes.
I'm sorry, I had a meeting and I just popped in. Someone answered me about the project. What is the issue with West 144th rear deck? Because someone had reached out to me months ago, and I said that the deck is not visible. You can't see it. It's from the street, which is a requirement from LPC in terms of additions to landmark properties. If this is the second house on 144th, right? In from Convent.
Right, but the deck that they're looking to build, I think, is gonna be in excess of what is permitted. So we needed to hear back and still need to hear back from their neighbors before taking a position. But
Okay.
at this point.
Well, the neighbor on one side, that house is not occupied. So they only have one neighbor, to ask. But
Sure.
I'm not sure why there is an issue with it because these are very agreeable people. I've met them, and if they were asked, why didn't they come back? I mean,
They just had the meeting.
Right, and I couldn't in good faith assign people to go inspect the site and ask around because of the weather conditions.
right. I live around the block from them.
So it's not anywhere calcitrant.
I
But with
think
that,
to sum it up, like the issue that happened is the January meeting got canceled, so their presentation got delayed.
Uh-huh.
After their presentation, we wanted to go make sure folks from the committee could check it out. Folks from the committee expressed that because of the blizzard that, I forgot which day that first blizzard was, and the
We
weather
couldn't do it, yeah. Uh-huh.
for them to go check in the conditions.
Yeah.
Then it was we expressed that to the Landmarks Connection, and they expressed I don't know the right way to say it, that the timeline was just dragging on.
and for the record, the timeline that they gave us was a couple of days.
It was-
A couple of days in the midst of a
That
desert.
had nothing to, like, what you just said, it had nothing, it was a couple of days and they kept their appointment.
Right.
We asked them not to,
Right.
so whether the blizzard came into play or the sub below, zero weather, they didn't give it a chance. They didn't know that was gonna happen, they just ignored what they said they would do and disregarded their word and went and had that meeting.
Precisely. Now, with-
LPC, you mean LPC did? LPC did.
No,
People you're
the
talking
people
about.
who are building the deck,
You guys should
The developers.
wrap it up.
the
Oh, the
developers.
developer, yeah.
To be mindful of everyone's time, it is 8:51, so we're significantly over time.
Thank
Okay.
you, thank you, thank you.
I make a
Thank you.
motion that this meeting be adjourned.
To Wednesday, April 1st, 2026.
Say I second.
Yeah, second.
Well, Andrew, all right, so second, so a motion to adjourn, meeting to April 1st, 2026. Meeting has been adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank
I'm so glad.
No recording?
Heather, I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you, Heather.